Greetings, brothers and sisters. So I got a whole bunch of things to get to. A long thing I'm going to do on the birds aren't real. I got some comments that people who watch my videos actually believe the birds aren't real, which was disturbing. Like I thought it was anyway. But I got a thing to do on that. And I got a bunch of other stuff to get to before that. I'm revisiting that no capping guy, right? He's not capping, the Island Boys dude. But first, let's start here. Hillaria Baldwin says Alec Baldwin shushed her while she was in labor. And this is from the page 6. You know, they're monitoring your stories on Instagram. I mean, this is bad timing. Like, why would she do this? And she says here, Alex shushed me while I was in labor with Rafi. He was on the phone. Shh, can you keep it down? Like, this is the kind of dick this guy is, right? His wife is giving birth, and he's shushing her. Like, you know, that's the next level narcissism. Alex shushed me while I was in labor with Rafi. He was on the phone. Shh, can you keep it down? The moment he said it, he realized he sounded like an ass, and he cowered. Keep the marriage. Went on to have 522 babies after I permit him in after I get the epidural. She gets the epidural. I'll spare you the details of the reaction now, but it'll never happen again. And then she says, he pays for labor by cleaning every bottle in the house. Just kidding, that never happens. But perhaps he can start now. Or he can just, go shoot people on set, right? So there's a couple of things to this. Alex shushed her twice during this impromptu press conference on the side of the road in New Hampshire. He shushes her here.
With Joel, the director. We were a very, very,
The look that he gives her, right?
Very.
Look at this look he gives her, right? Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. You insignificant wife, right? Then he does it again here.
They're mortified.
You guys, you know what? No details.
But do me a favor. I'm gonna answer the question.
You're not in labor now, bitch. And so he dismisses her throughout this thing. So the bigger problem here is, he's dismissive of her because he's such an Alec Baldwin. But the bigger problem is she's posting things on Instagram when they should be hiding, because Alec Baldwin is hiding. Outrage as Alec Baldwin lunges at reporter in viral video outside Woody Allen's house. Now, this is interesting for a couple of reasons, because I saw this Woody Allen movie, Blue Jasmine, was a god-awful movie. And, I didn't figure it out like it was Woody Allen's movie till I realized how crappy it was. It just had the fingerprints of one of Woody Allen's twisted movies. And Woody Allen is, just an absolute creep himself. And then there was this, somebody videoed Alec, and Alec was going after him because Alec has quite a temper. And he was at Woody Allen's house. I didn't know that. Somebody told me in a comment, right? But the guy, goes to Woody Allen's house during his crisis, right? And he defended Woody Allen, and he defended other people, like Chris Cuomo's against cancel culture. It's like some depraved group, right? But he's okay to attack, Trump and other people. It isn't like he's above judgment, like he doesn't judge anybody. He certainly judged right-wing people, which he did on Instagram all the time. He was hammering Republicans in the right wing. But Woody Allen gets a free pass, right? That creepy MNF'er. And he just looks bad. Look at his face and his condition and all these things. He's not in good shape. He's not spiritually. The guy's just got all this darkness in there. He talked about his demons. I had of all these screenshots of articles where he talked about his inner demons. And the guy's just an absolute mess and nightmare. And instead of just, hiding away, they find a way to stay in the news media. Him and his, Spanish wife that's a white girl from Boston. And so this is an example of how you do it wrong. So I had a long thing about Don Lemons and January 6th and Liz Cheney, and YouTube yellowed my video and I could request a review, but it takes like a day. So I'm going to edit that part out because I figured that's what they had a problem with. And I'll probably post it on my other channel because of, I don't know, we'll see. But anyways, there was a long segment here that's not a part of the video anymore. If I reference it in the video, that's what happened. So there was this joke on Saturday Night Live. One of my viewers sent me this. This is Roger Stone, and Roger Stone's one of the greasiest, most unlikable people. He's Gollum-like. Like, whenever I hear him talk, it's just like, you know, it's icky. Like, he just spews like grossness. Like, he's just a really sleazy person. He worked for Nixon and all of it.
Refused to cooperate with the committee investigating the January 6th attacks, though Stone said he would be open to sitting in the corner watching the committee take turns on his wife.
So that's just, like, completely inappropriate, right? Like, think about what you're doing here.
Russia.
Like, that's just not cool. Like, you know, Saturday Night Live sucks. And, you know, everyone has an excuse of why they get to mistreat other people, right? Everyone has an excuse of why they get to hate the other group. And, you know, there's plenty to hate. Like, people really suck on both sides. Everybody sucks. And so people give themselves permission to act in a way, you know, that they would never accept people acting that same way to them. You understand this? And this is how hatred works. This is what I'm talking about. You know, in terms of the heartfulness meditation, you throw the hate out of your heart, right? Because you don't, you know, it's your hate, it's your anger, it's your whatever. Like, you suck, right? You have these things inside of you. And the people outside of you are just showing you what's inside of you, showing you the hate that's inside of you. And they're hateable. Like, I'm not saying people aren't hateable. Yeah, people suck so bad right now, across the board. You can spend your whole life just, you know, raging inside, you know, raging and, you know, hating and, you know, all this negativity that's inside of you. You can just, you know, experience life through a, you know, stream of anger and hatred and frustration. It's everyone else's fault and victim consciousness. Or you can move forward and become a better person yourself, right? But that's not what, you know, any of these people are going to do. They're just, you know, they're the worst examples of humanity, but that's what everyone's looking at. They're looking at people who are failing at life. They're failing to take responsibility for their own lives. And they use hatred and deception and, you know, polarization, you know, the left-right paradigm to control everything and infuse all these negative, you know, pull out all this negativity that's within people, right? It doesn't uplift people. It doesn't, you know, speak to bringing out their gratitude and their love for God and, you know, positive feelings. Like, everybody's just tunes into the internet and, you know, the television networks and just, you know, fumes and, you know, is steaming in their own, you know, virulent hatred. So a little while ago, I did a video. Somebody sent me this. I'll show you a clip from my old video here.
So I chose, about a week, not today, but about a week ago.
It didn't happen today, a week ago. This is, you know, a memory.
I sold my soul.
He sold his soul a week ago. He's not sure. It's like a week ago. See that again.
A week ago, I sold my soul. You understand what I'm saying?
I do understand what you're saying. A week ago, you sold your soul.
I sold my soul. You understand what I'm saying? And ever since I sold my soul, I haven't been happy ever since. You know what I'm saying?
He's not been happy ever since. You know, and this is like a dream guy that shows up your house that your daughter's dating. Like, what an outstanding young man, and just, a bright future in front of him. But unfortunately sold his soul. Now he's not happy. Like, what are the odds? What are the odds you sell your soul and like immediately afterwards you're not happy?
You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying. You sold your soul and now you're not happy.
Hey, yo, man. Y'all ain't gotta believe me. It is what it is. I'm not even capping.
Are you capping? Because I thought you were capping. You guys, I should have said it. I should have said it out loud, but I thought it. I was like, this guy's capping. But now he's saying he's not capping, so I was wrong.
Because, listen, I had to do it. You understand what I'm saying? Because, like, I had to do it because I was trying to make it, like, you feel me?
I feel you. You had to make it, and you weren't going to make it because you have no talent and no redeeming qualities. So the only thing you had to offer was your soul. And you had to make it, so, that was the only way you could do it. Exactly. I know, and you're not capping. Like, we've already established you're not capping.
Like, and as of when I was, selling my soul, like, there was things that I could sacrifice about and stuff like that, and I sacrificed myself.
Exactly. See, this is the kind of stand-up guy. He didn't sacrifice somebody else.
I could have sacrificed anybody, but when you sell your soul, you got to sacrifice someone that you really love, and I sacrificed myself and stuff like that.
So he's a stand-up guy. He didn't put it off on one of his loved ones. He's not capping either.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying.
And I did it.
He did it.
You get what I'm saying?
We did hear what you're saying. Maybe you want to recap and explain it for us, just because, the other day, it was maybe like a week ago, you sold your soul. You haven't been happy ever since, but you want to be famous. You're not capping. You want to be famous and rich. You don't have any talent. You could have sacrificed anybody, but you sacrificed yourself. And you said, I know what I'm saying, like 6 times. And, 6, right, bro?
I couldn't do it with nobody that I love. The demon asked me, are you sure you want to sacrifice? So you sacrifice someone that you love?
Yeah, the demon was like, hey, bro, you can do something. Why you want to do this to yourself?
I said, nah. But when you sell your soul, you feel me? You gotta, it's not how people say it is. You really gotta, like, you really gotta pick. You understand what I'm saying? And you get anything you want. You get to be rich.
So I made this video, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago. I forgot all about this dude. But then I seen on YouTube Trends that him and his brother, because I'll explain more about that, right? Well, what it was I got all these comments from people. Like, I had no idea who this guy was. They got all these comments of people who have like teenage kids, and they know who this guy is. He and his brothers sing this, sort of rap this song called Island Boy. And it's just sort of like, it's not polished if you've seen it, but they put out this video on TikTok. It's almost like freestyle. It's kind of singing, a little bit almost like rapping. Kind of sucks. And it went viral. And they try to cash in, but all these young people are going to their Instagram and social media and mocking them, right? And now they're sort of a joke. They are the new version of the one-hit wonder. And, I saw that they were in this fight or something with Logan Paul, or one of those Paul brothers. They were interviewing them, and these guys got offended, because they're not so bright. And I thought I'd revisit their social media platform, or I hadn't been on it, but I thought I'd find them on Instagram, because if you want to get the most of your apocalyptic dollar, like most people, don't get the most out of the apocalypse, you got to laugh at stupid people, right? I mean, every once in a while you have to, stupid people will help you get the most out of your apocalyptic dollar. But here are these guys. This is Fly Soja. He was the guy who said he sold his soul to the devil. And his twin brother Kodiak Red. And this is, well, let's just watch it. They're constantly trying to beg people to have, like, you know, to pay them to make individual videos for them, or, you know, other things that they're doing. And they're just, like, hilariously, you know, trying to ride out this one viral moment. And people who are watching it, like, tune in to mock them, right? Young people.
All right, what to do. If you need a custom video from the Island Boys, like a birthday shout out or a Merry Christmas shout out or any type of videos for a shout out, come hit us up right now on
You can get it, right? You can get a custom video from Island Boys. You can get a shout out for them. Merry Christmas. These guys will wish your family a Merry Christmas.
Island Boys cameo. Is going to be in the link of my bio, so you already know, pick the first selection to our cameo.
So this person writes, I can do about $3.50. Oh, they're still learning how to smile. Joy looks like Fruity in the back. And so most of the people here are mocking them, but they got 260,000 views, most of the comments here. 15 minutes are up, boys, right? Here they are dressed up like Santa Claus.
Ho, 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 ho. We some no-po boy. We're some Island Boys, man. What's up for the Island Tour? We're doing cameos the whole holidays, so
Cameos. They'll do cameos for you.
tap in with us. If you need a custom video or anything that you want from us, get it. We're going to be right on Cameo doing deals all month long. It's a Merry Christmas vibe. And that's how you get a custom video from us. Ho, ho, ho. We some.
It's been real, Island Boys, but I'm going to head out now. Here they are holding up stacks of money. They got some money in the tub. Here they are again begging for people to avail them of their services.
Hey, if y'all want to get y'all drip up, y'all get with novaman.com, fashionnova.com. Y'all already know what it is. It's going to be a Black Friday sale going on from 50% off to 80% off. Get with them, and Cyber Monday as well. So y'all already know what it is, man. Get your drip up from Fashion Nova. Cause I'm an island boy, I'm a Fashion Nova boy. So get with Nova Man, get with Nova Man.
So in most of these rest of these videos, they end up singing their one song, right? Like they're the ultimate one-hit wonders, but it's not even a hit. It isn't like they sold records, right? It isn't like they had some record. They had a viral video on TikTok. Most people mocked it, right? And then now that's all they do. They come out and they sing the song over and over again. Some version of it, you know, but it's all this Island Boy stuff. And like I watch way more videos on these two clowns use Instagram accounts than I care to admit. And in 80% of them, they're trying to sell something and they bust out the Island Boy song. And they're mocked savagely by their commenters. And, you know, they're stupid. Like, there's degrees of stupid. There's, you know, low IQ people that just don't have a lot of whatever, brain development. And, you know, but some of those people can be, you know, wise in their way or, you know, functional. I mean, they don't have the ability for maybe abstract thought. And then there's people who are just immature dummies, right? We all go through our, you know, 20s being, like, dumb and, you know, our late teens, we're learning how to be adults and we do dumb things or whatever it is, right? College level, you know, kids in college making bad decisions. And so there's dummies, right? So there's low IQ people, there's dummies, and then there's just, you know, being willfully stupid. And these guys are all of it. Like they're all the like stupidity that human beings exhibit all wrapped into one. Like all the different forms of stupidity wrapped in one. And, you know, the cluelessness. Which one of you is mom most disappointed by? Best rappers alive. No, don't at me at fire. He's laughing, right? All these people mocking him. I saw a video of one of y'all shopping, crying, and getting hit by a girl. Right? I would like to see that video, but I'm not going to go searching for it. If somebody sends it to me, I'll watch it. Here's a dude filming here. He's rocking the same do.
Hey, listen, man, I line myself up every single day using Babylist Pro FX. These are the best going on right now. So go be at.
They're pimping for some like clipper company.
Island boy, get your line alright. From Babylist, yeah, they got the best line inside. Come on, check this out. Come on, man, y'all ready for this?
They're selling their one song out, right? But it's not like a real commercial. They're just on Instagram pitching these razors, and they change the lyrics to their one song. That's not even really a song. Their one-hit wonder, so that it can be a commercial for some clippers.
We got the liners. You got the clippers. These are custom. You can custom however color you want. Shavers. I literally did this custom color myself. We do this every single day, man. These are the best. I swear to God on my mother. Look.
He swears to God on his mother. Don't shave off any of those face tattoos. That's your money maker.
No bumps. You get no bumps, no scratches, no nothing. Hitters. Foil shavers. These are hitters. Best in the game right now. Go get them right now. Fabulous.
Here they are. They got their slippers on. He's got his money signature on this clothing apparel they're selling.
I'm an island boy. I'm a Fashion Nova boy. Oh, I'm a Fashion Nova man. Better go with Fashion Nova drip. We be dripping, yo. We be styling, yeah. Like it's all I want, yeah. Oh, I'm an island boy. I'm a Fashion Nova boy.
So these are the island boys. So this is the state of American fame, right? Internet fame now being what it is, it's even worse than, you have to go through like levels of gatekeepers before, right? You had to, go through these, talent agencies and Hollywood stuff to become famous. But now you can just do it on the internet, which is both, sometimes it can be real and genuine, and other times you get the island boys, right? So I covered this the other day. Birds aren't real, and I didn't think my viewers would have fallen for this thing. And I want to talk about it here. They have this conspiracy theory. It's part of the truther movement. At least this is what the official van here says, right? It says, "Wake up here. Birds aren't real." It's a movement. It says truther gear. They're selling truther gear, all the gear that you can get, all truther gear, most popular, different types of bird stuff here, right? Drone field guide shows all the various levels of these bird drones. The vulture is a bird drone, right? And they're all spying on you from the sky. The goose, these are all these bird drones, the raven, the parrot, the flamingo, they're the worst. And then the hawk, they're constantly spying on you. Owl for night surveillance. This is some of their merch. And here it says, it's a movement. Who are we? Right? Well, Brandon's a part of it, writing in other reviews because of, I don't know, he says something. They have the activism gear, all of it right here. And so it's a movement, a banned television advertisement from the movement of 87. Birds aren't real. It's been around for a while. They've been pushing it. They got their billboards. Birds aren't real billboard. They got it all. It's a movement. It's a movement, and they're coming for you, right? A movement coming to a town near you. So I want to explain this on a couple of levels. In terms of the state of the so-called truther movement and internet and all of it, right? What people believe and people's ability to use critical thinking skills. First, let's talk about the narcissism here. That bird's sole existence is to spy on you. Right? That all these birds, I guess they're saying some birds are real. I guess they're allowing for some real birds just to, whatever in this ridiculous theory, right? That they're there just to spy on you. And you can observe birds, which I do all the time. Like I go out on our farm, and we have all kinds of different birds. But when my wife and I are, out in nature, my family's out in nature, I'm not necessarily a bird watcher, but I observe birds in their natural habitat, and they have their own existence. They have their own lives, and most of the time they're running away from people, right? They're not coming towards you. They're running away from you, right? And so they have their own existences. They have their own, purpose, right? And you're not at the center of it. Like, they're not just sitting there spying on you. Like, it's their sole existence. These things created by the government. You can go out and watch birds and see that any animal. Like, we have mice we interact with. One of my dogs is a good mice hunter, of course, our cat. We have all these mice that we deal with, especially now that we feed our cows grain, and there's grain and chicken feed in our barn, and some of it always spills, and the mice, it's just a payday for them. And so, these animals have an existence, and they don't care about you, only in the sense of you providing food for them or shelter or whatever, things that you're doing and building some sort of structure that they can take advantage of, right? But they don't care about you. Their lives aren't centered around you. You walk in on them, they go hide, right? They want no part of you. They look at you as a threat, right? And there's all these different, creatures existing that their whole life doesn't revolve around you. They just don't. Like, you might have dogs, yeah, sure. You might have pets that look at you like you're God or whatever. But the rest of these animals, or these wild animals, have their own purpose. And, their biggest thing with humans is fear. Like, they're always, fearful of human beings. When you come into contact with natural creatures, they're usually running away from you, right? And birds are flying away from you. But maybe even more important than that, I don't know which is more important. But it's a complete lack of understanding how much you're spied on, right? Like, everything that you're posting on the internet is being filtered through algorithms, and they have massive banks of computers in places. There's one in Utah. I mean, just the water bill alone costs millions of dollars a year to keep all these computers cool. Like, it's a whole thing where they are storing and recording everything, right? I mean, it's not, being filtered through human eyes, but AI technology and algorithms, everything that you're posting on the internet, they have, right? I mean, the level of information that people are sharing on social media, they have all that. It's sold, right? Social media's number one economic asset is your information. They are gathering information about your preferences, Amazon on what your purchases are. I mean, if you're using credit cards, they know what you're buying. They know what you're clicking on. They know what your interests are. They know what you're telling your friends, everything you're posting on Instagram. And they have these complex psychological profiles, like they're gathering data, and they understand your psychological desires, your needs. I mean, they all this information they're gathering, the AI technology, and they're running it through these algorithms and things to create a psychological profile of everybody, right? And then you have, everyone's carrying around with them a microphone. You have a microphone in your pocket that they can click on anytime they want, video, I mean, all these things. We saw it in, the movie Snowden. I mean, they're even in that movie Enemy of the State years ago, the surveillance state, how much information they're gathering from you, right? And there's cameras everywhere. There's Google cameras, there's security cameras, and they have access to all this stuff. They can, it's all connected to the internet. And then within your own home, the smart meter and your smart appliances are all talking to each other, right? They're gathering data of your usage of light and all your, when you turn lights on and when you're going to sleep. You understand there's all these smart appliances they have now. Everything's connected to the internet. Like, they know everything that you're doing, right? They've got all this data. Like, they're not, there's no people looking at it, but it's put in these, these extensive computer banks and whatever data files they have, but they have all kinds of profiles on you. There might be a day where you show up somewhere, like outside of a FEMA camp, and there'll be some comrade there with an iPad or something like this, and they'll just say, hey, you said this in social media on such and such a day. I mean, they'll have a whole extensive data file of you, videos, comments you made. I mean, everything that they've gathered over the years, everything you've done. They know it. They can, pull it up anytime they want. Everyone's got some sort of profile, right? And there's so much extensive, spying being done just on people spying on themselves with their, constantly taking selfies and, all this stuff they're doing on social media. And then you have a camera and a microphone you're carrying around that can be tapped into at any time, like I said, all this stuff. So they don't need birds. Like, they don't need birds to spy on you. You're self-reporting. Most people are self-reporting everything that you do. Using birds would be impractical, right? Your cell phone is a much better device to use to spy on you than, birds. Most people aren't even going outside, right? What do you think that, birds are, looking in your window? These birds migrate. You can see them. Like, we get cardinals in the winter here, right? There'll be a lot of cardinals, and they'll leave during the spring. And we get some orioles, which is probably one of my favorite birds. And you barely get to see the orioles, right? They're, they have these cool nests, and they're here for a couple of months. We get these brown thrushes that I see. They have a little nest over there. And then they move on to some other place, right? Like if they were doing spy birds, they would have like a bird assigned to you, that would just always be there, right? Instead of having birds have to migrate and fly all across. These birds go for, thousands of miles in some cases. And then you see all the ocean birds and the seagulls and the sandpipers. These birds all have a life. These vultures you see eating carrion, they have a purpose, right? They have a purpose in nature. You're not the center of the bird universe. But then to call it a movement, where they call this is a movement, what's the purpose of this movement? To get people all freaking paranoid. Oh, there's a bird over there. It's spying on me. Like, there's no movement here. It's a movement of stupidity. It's just, making a mockery of the truth community, which is already a mockery. Like, I don't even care, right? The Cubies already took care of the, the brand of the truthers. It wasn't just the Cubies, but it's just been truthers in general. And so, like, there's no longer any sense of, oh, truthers are better than sheeple. Like, you can just leave that behind you. Because truthers will fall for all kinds of things, right? And this idea that this would be some sort of a movement, like, what's going to happen? Like, how is this going to be a movement? How is the birds aren't real going to change things for the better of humanity? It's just not. Like, it's just stupid. And it's like Island Boy level stupid. It's Island level boy stupid. Because there's also something where you should ask yourself, well, where are we going with this? What's the end game here? Like, if we pursue this, if we turn this into a movement, what's the eventual outcome? You're going to convince everyone that birds aren't real. You're going to show everyone that they're drones. But they're, they're living animals, right? And so, and you can see it. It's not like, and it's for these, group of, I don't know what they're calling, Generation Z's, young truthers. They're not really truthers because they're lost, right? To get sucked into this. And I'm sure there's some convincing, information and data they have that you're like, it sounds crazy at first. But then once you hear what it's about, you'll know that birds aren't real, right? This is how they always get you. They can always convince you of stuff. People can use manipulative data and, make up stuff. It's always easy to convince people, suck them in. That's how people buy stuff, right? As a kid, there was a movement of where you would buy a pet rock. No, this really happened. There was this thing called a pet rock. You can go look it up. Like back in the 70s, they were selling rocks as pets, and they weren't nice rocks. They weren't like, these sort of gemstones. There's all these cheap gemstones. You can go to one of these sort of tourist places and, fill a bag, like a little pouch full of gemstones, right? They weigh it for you, and they're polished and they're cool looking. No, these were just like, brown rocks they dug out of the ground. They put them in a box and they called it a pet rock. They didn't put eyes on it or didn't try to make it into a living creature. It was just a rock. And people are like, hey, I got a pet rock, right? Did you? Okay. Did you get magic beans with that? Can we plant your magic beans with your pet rock and go up and climb a beanstalk and meet some giants and introduce them to your pet rock? Like, it's amazing what people will buy and fall for and, be fans of and be supporters of. I mean, it's a human flaw. Like, it's, I understand that there's a growing vacuum of truth. We have all these lies. You have the CNN lies and the Fox lies and the political lies and the celebrity lies and the corporate lies. Everybody's lying to you. And so you're looking for truth. People are looking for truth. There's a vacuum being created where people are craving truth. They realize they've been duped. And so now they want something, solid, something to know that just, something they can say, yeah, this is the real story. This is the truth of it, right? I mean, the bird thing, it really isn't that, but still people, fall for it, right? They want an alternative explanation. All right, you've been lied to by the powers that be, but then you have these flim-flam, man, these snake oil salesmen that come in and make up these, conspiracy theories, right? That are, maybe it's a governmental run operation, or maybe it's just some, dude, bunch of people trying to make a quick buck or whatever it is. And people fall for it. And it just, it embarrasses us, like not just as a truth community, but as a race of beings, right? Like as humanity, as human beings, like how stupid we are, right? Like if some people are, really stupid, it reflects on all of us. It's like, we're petitioning right now. We're in a situation where we don't know whether they're just going to, the powers that be, the divine beings that manage this planet, are just going to scrap the whole human experiment and say, hey, like, it's not working out. Like, we're at that kind of point right now. It's a decision point, and we're all, like, basically advocating for the future of our species, right? There's been saints, higher developed souls that connect to God and evolve. All true evolution is spiritual evolution. It happens on an etheric level. Of course, you can have physical evolution. You can transform your body. You can make your mind. You can train your mind, and you can evolve into something better. You can become a skilled person, right? You can become an artist in your craft, whatever your craft of choice is. I mean, there's that kind of evolution, but on a material level, it's limited. Spiritually, your potential is infinite because there's God in you. A part of you is God. And then you can, maximize that. That's what the heartfulness system is there for people to maximize their full divine potential. And it's really up to you, the practitioner. Like, the system isn't going to do it for you. I've said it over and over again in my videos about this, that you have to work at it. You have to work at your spiritual, being a spiritual being, right? Connecting with your soul and maximizing your complete abilities. And people are scared of their potential. I've said this before. Most people are terrified of their spiritual potential. And so there's that. And so there's a high end, a saintly end, a spiritual master end, where you can evolve into something, right? You have a perfect version of yourself. Not that you'll be perfect, but it's the best version of yourself as a spiritual being, and that'll reflect in the kind of person you are, the kind of character qualities you have, and the kind of, attitude you have, right, in terms of service, and, you'll be able to admit love will, like, pour through you. God's love will pour through you, and other people will experience it, right? You'll elevate the people and the animals and, the environment around you by moving forward on your spiritual path. And then there's just the depravity, the stupidness, the low vibrational stuff we see people exhibiting. And it's like a race to see, I don't want to say a race, but a competition to see if people will embrace their higher nature, or they'll be pulled down into their lower vibrational, their lowest egotistical, demonic, self, right? Whatever low life they can become, right? And so, this is the question here. Can human beings rise up to a higher level, or should it be scrapped? This experiment be scrapped, and try something else. Work on the dolphins or the whatever it is, right? Go with some other species, and say let's see if we can turn this planet over to something else, because this human thing isn't working out, right? Because Island Boys and the birds aren't real is sweeping the nation. Only spirituality will save this world. It's Paul Romano, definitely reporting from the Apocalypse and the Ascension. Everyone have a blessed day and be grateful.